Hello and welcome to the SHRMLabs Workplace Tech Accelerator 2022 Demo Day. Thank you for joining us. My name is Guillermo Correa. I'm the Managing Director of SHRMLabs, and I will be your host today. For those of you who are not familiar with SHRMLabs, we are the Society for Human Resource Management's Workplace Innovation Lab and Venture Capital arm. We support SHRM in elevating HR as a thought leader in workplace innovation. Our programs are designed to be the bridge between innovators and the people who know the workplace the best, HR. This spring, we launched our Workplace Tech Accelerator, a premier program focused on the future of work and guiding early stage startups to cater their solutions to the needs of workers and the workplace. The companies you will meet today were selected through an extensive and rigorous selection process. As you will see, these are 6 very promising startups that are revolutionizing the workplace and helping HR become more efficient and strategic. Today, you will not only get to hear from the founders, but we're also very lucky to also have their VIP customers so that you can hear directly from your HR colleagues how these solutions are revolutionizing the workplace. But before we hear from these startups, please help me in welcoming to the stage Alex Alonso, SHRM's Chief Knowledge Officer and founder of SHRMLabs, who'd like to share some words with you. Welcome to the stage, Alex. All yours.
Thank you, Guillermo, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to see this come to life and grateful for the opportunity to see what it is that we have to offer in terms of the world of technology and, more importantly, the world of work. As many of you know, SHRM's mission is to create better workplaces through a better world. And part of what we've been working on as part of this effort is to help combat some of the major trends that we're seeing in workplaces. For instance, we know a lot about the great resignation, but we also see issues having to do with the great retirement and issues having to do with people choosing to leave the workplace. For instance, we know that more than 41% of Americans report that they are looking to leave their current workplaces and their current employers. In addition, we're also seeing that there's a key component around what it is that employers can do to create a better quality of life and a general better well-being for their workers. And as such, we've worked on and really tried to find the best possible mix of workplace tech startups to help people really experience the best possible employee experience for themselves. In addition, we know that there are roughly 70% of working Americans who admit that they would love to engage in upskilling or, more importantly, to engage in reskilling to help them do their jobs better or to help them advance their careers in some way. This is work that we've done over the years with Walmart Foundation as well as with Charles Koch Foundation. And we see these data points all pointing to one thing. The employee is looking for more when it comes to their employer. And helping employers do this and achieve that opportunity to provide more is a key component to creating that workplace that we call the better workplace. And as such, we've taken a very intentional approach to put together a cohort that really helps us address these key issues in the world of work. In addition, we feel that as the Society for Human Resource Management, we have a unique approach and insight into what workplaces are looking for. Particularly, we have access to more than 300,000 working HR professionals, as well as the 1.6 million workplaces that they represent in the US alone. This provides us with a multifaceted approach to our research, as well as an opportunity to share with those insights with organizations that are aiming to improve upon the workplace and build a better workplace overall. Importantly, these types of technologies also help HR leaders deal with the pain points of today and tomorrow. There is no future without technology, and SHRM is working very hard through SHRMLabs to pave the way for those better workplaces through a technology-enabled workforce. In addition, one of the things that we're really hoping to do is ensure that we are focusing on our members through this program. HR practitioners are coming to us and asking us about the solutions that we are trying to provide. More importantly, they're asking for solutions that can help them become more efficient and strategic in their roles. And to do this, we've actually taken an intentional approach through this Accelerator program where we're partnering with each of these solutions teams to test, enhance, and guide them to a path that will serve to elevate the HR profession, but also make those better workplaces that we talk about for that better world. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Guillermo so that we can get forward with our program.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alex. And we greatly appreciate all your support to SHRMLabs as well as these great startups. But now let's get to the fun part and the reason why all of you are joining us here. So let's get going with our demo day presentations. And first up, we have Major League Hacking.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Gottfried, co-founder of Major League Hacking, or MLH. We are the world's premier upskilling and tech recruitment platform. We are helping companies like yours build tomorrow's talent pipeline. Every single company in the world is undergoing a digital transformation. That means that you need technical staff to build the products of the future. We help you hire software engineers and other technical staff to fill out your growing engineering teams and meet the challenges that your organizations are facing as they evolve. We solve your hiring needs with a bottoms-up strategy. That means that your prospective employees actually work with MLH to build the skills that they need to hit the ground running day one on the job. Most people who are in computer science curriculum, even at the top universities in the world, don't have the skills they need to actually function in a real world environment. In fact, 90% of the students in our community learn skills through our programs that they do not get in class. That means that we are helping to close the tech skills gap and not only identify really great talent, but help them be the best versions of themselves. It's a struggle to build representation in your candidate pipelines, but our programs empower students to learn and feel comfortable and receive mentorship in a way that sets them apart, but also gives them the confidence and skills they need to be effective in any technical organization on the planet. MLH can enable your organizations with our drop-in tech talent pipeline that can supplement all of your existing channels with a high-quality, diverse group of early career developers who want to work for you and hit the ground running. But it's not just about a great story. The numbers have to back it up. More than a third of all computer science students in the United States participated in MLH programs last year, and the vast majority of our community identifies as part of an underrepresented group. That's easily 2 to 3x more diverse than the average CS classroom you're recruiting from right now, and it's helped us to build a 500,000 member and alumni strong global community of developers who are changing the future of technology. It is inspiring to see. Now you can have the same world-class talent pipeline that our customers like Google or Amazon or GitHub have. We have students with hard and soft skills necessary to be a great team player who can hit the ground running and who come from diverse backgrounds and experiences that allow them to bring new perspective into your product development. Join our incredible roster of customers and start working with MLH to craft your ideal candidate profile, find incredible diamonds in the rough from our community of early career developers, and interview and hire your next generation of technical contributors and leaders. Thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you to SHRM for your incredible support in the WorkplaceTech Accelerator. If you're interested in finding out more, fill out the survey after the demo day or go to hackp.ac/hackyourhiring. Happy hacking, everyone.
Hey, John, great presentation and welcome to the stage. So just a couple of questions here. So more than one third of all U.S. computer science students participated in MLH programs last year and each year, actually. So how did you achieve such a critical mass of early career developers? I think you're on mute, by the way. Yeah, I think you're still on mute, actually. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. There you go.
I don't know what was going on there. I apologize, folks. Hey, everyone. Thanks for the question, Guillermo. So we've started with a community-first approach. When you think about nurturing and building early career talent pipelines, really what you're talking about is, university or non-traditional educational environments. most people look at that from a major or classroom or career fair standpoint. For us, it's about the actual action of using the skills that you're learning. So building projects outside of class, demoing something you've been working on to your fellow students, going to a tech talk from an industry expert. All of those extracurricular things that actually make you well-rounded are what makes this so attractive to students, and it has allowed us to achieve such a critical mass of people. When you're talking about 500,000 developers, that's immense, right? Like even companies like Google, they have 30,000 developers on staff, but we're spanning so many different schools, so many different companies, and so many different countries that we are actually able to, both influence in how we train people, but also identify really exceptional talent from the earliest days of their career in a way that can fuel every company's necessary growth.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about how MLH's events and programs create a more inclusive?
Uh, Guillermo froze up there, but I think I know how that question was going to end. Um, so yeah, obviously in the tech industry, but also in any HR organization, building diverse and inclusive organizations is paramount. For us as a community first organization, it is one of our core goals. When we think about it, there's a couple of things that come into play. One, most people who are early in their careers have imposter syndrome, right? They don't recognize how talented they are because they think other people are inherently better. We help build their confidence through mentorship and teaching and peer support that allows them to actually stretch their skills in an environment where they feel comfortable. In addition to that, we also think about best practices in terms of codes of conduct, reporting pipelines, setting behavioral expectations among a lot of people who are interacting with one another in ways that we can't observe firsthand. A lot of the same challenges that all of you are working to implement in your organizations help us actually build an environment that supports people of any background, especially if they come from a marginalized group in tech.
Fantastic. So you guys work with a large number of blue chip technology companies, right? I mean, you name it, right? Some of the big boys out there. What do you think is so unique about MLH's programs from an employer perspective that is driving that growth?
Honestly, we understand the skills and passions and interests of our community intimately. When we talk about matching someone to an employer, it's not just like, who can you get, right? It's how do you get the right person at the right time? And so we build programs that actually allow students and companies to match with each other and identify where it's going to be the best possible fit and lead to a real career outcome that's going to last for the long term. We don't want you to get someone who's going to churn in a year. We want someone who's going to be a devoted team player for many years to come and can advance through your organization and advance their own skills and career. And so that's what makes us so attractive to those organizations, but also every single other company in the world that's becoming, a digital first company. You all need developers, you all need technical talent, and we understand both sides of the equation in a way that allows us to match people in a really optimal way and create really great long-term outcomes.
Yeah. So let's hear from one of those big tech companies, right? So let's welcome to the stage Matt Auerbach, Manager Solutions Architecture at AWS.
Hey everyone.
Hey Matt, thank you for being here, and we know you're a big user of MLH, and thank you for being here. By the way, first. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the unique challenges that your team faces with identifying early career talent and how MLH has been able to help you solve that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me as well. I'll just do a quick intro. So, I've been working on a specific team called Amplify at AWS. I've been working with the MLH program now for about 2 years. And for us, I think it's interesting because Amazon, does have a pretty like built out sort of like recruitment platform, but for Amplify specifically, we definitely focus a lot on open source, and that's sort of a more like unique skill set. We're definitely looking, for students who have really modern sort of technologies as a part of their skill set. And that's something that MLH has been able to identify just because, they're able to so early on to really understand kind of students' backgrounds and really help them refine and grow those skills. I also think from like a perception point of view, students kind of just see Amazon as this like really big, large place. And I think MLH has done a really good job at just getting students excited and have gotten them into their pipeline. And then after, they spend a few weeks working with us, I think it kind of changes sort of how they viewed Amazon, if that makes sense, because MLH is also providing other resources like coaches, and they have like Discord servers and things like that. So I think it kind of makes it more approachable to some students who might not even feel like they could ever apply to Amazon, right? They might be like, oh,
Yeah.
like there's no way I could work at a place like that. So I think it makes it more approachable.
Fantastic. Would you say that that's kind of like the unique expertise that MLH brings to the table for you guys? How is it that that you're able to provide some like a unique perspective to all these candidates?
Yeah, I mean, I think the uniqueness is right. Like students might interact with MLH at a local hackathon, or they might do a hack day online. So they have, I think, a good perception of the MLH brand, and then MLH is already so sort of ingrained in their kind of career path, or like helping them get ready for that application time. So I think then presenting Amazon uh, like to students in that kind of pipeline makes it a lot more approachable. So that's definitely very unique. Whereas maybe Amazon, like traditionally would go to different job fairs and whatnot. I don't think they're probably as able to make that connection because that's not a brand they might not have spent, all this time kind of building through different events and things like that.
Fantastic. How else do you think that MLH has been able to make an impact on diverse early career developers and help them bridge that gap to many meaningful careers over at AWS?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just like the global reach. I think, as John was saying earlier, we've had students come from like all over the world. It's definitely more diverse than, our current teams. And I think also, as John said, just many students identify as underrepresented. And I think just MLH has done a really good job at making those students feel comfortable. I think they know where those students, spend their time and have made it more approachable. So I think sort of the uniqueness also allows, I think you mentioned uh, the syndrome where, you kind of feel like, you might not be good enough for Amazon, right? So I think, they're really great at sort of making everyone feel welcome and comfortable. So that kind of just, I think gets people in a lot earlier, whereas sometimes maybe we see those folks later on after they've sort of maybe done a few jobs and built a stronger resume. So I think that's one is just kind of the reach and being able to speak to those students, and basically just folks that we might not see through our normal channels, right? Folks who might not go to career fairs or things like that. So I think they've kind of just been able to innovate a bit better. Even like Discord, right? Like that's just a way for students to kind of interact and kind of meet in real time. And traditionally, a place like Amazon isn't going to really be in those places, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Excellent. Well, hey, Matt, thank you very much for sharing your time with us, and we really appreciate you being here. I'm sure John, appreciates it as well. So,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you very much. All right.
absolutely. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
All right, you too. Um, so, John, how can the audience out there learn more about MLH? If you want to tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you fill out this poll right here, I believe we'll follow up with you via email. We also, Alba from my team posted a link in chat. If you go to that link, you can learn more about how we partner with talent organizations to help them hire the next generation of developers. There's a form you can fill out, and we would love to schedule a call and learn more about how your org is growing and how we can support you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, John, and to the entire MLH team. It's been a fantastic 8 weeks that we've been with you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Um,
Guillermo.
all right. Let's move on to our next startup here. Next up, we have Perks.
Hello, my name is Dominic Pantelidis, co-founder and CEO of Perks. We are the first global support and culture building platform designed for distributed workforces and the future of work. We are deeply passionate about empowering people to thrive in their workplace and beyond. The team at Perks is accomplished and seasoned and have come together to revolutionize the way organizations support their people and create healthy company cultures. The world of work is dramatically changing, and companies are facing several key challenges. Retaining and hiring the best talent has become number one priority for most. The big question that every company is asking themselves is, how do we provide our decentralized workforces with great support and culture now that people are working from everywhere? The current landscape of talent management technology is antiquated and fragmented, leaving HR leaders to piecemeal multiple disconnected solutions together to try and support their workforce and understand their company culture. At Perks, we take a holistic and comprehensive approach by combining the most important components into one ecosystem, empowering HR professionals and employees effectively. At the center of Perks is our carefully curated global marketplace for culture and support, available in 80+ countries, providing global support and a localized experience. It can be used for a plethora of different use cases, from building welcome packages for new employees to team building experiences, and even remote work equipment delivered to an employee's doorstep. True people support through an automated system. Once a company defines their program and budget, each employee receives an invite to browse and select from over 2,000 curated and vetted global vendor partners. We have 8 main categories covering all culture and support needs wrapped in a beautiful marketplace experience. Say goodbye to procurement and sourcing. Perks has got you covered. We wanted to make the Perks marketplace smart, so we created proprietary culture intelligence tools to assist the client by improving their existing culture and support effectively. Our Culture Index helps intelligently tailor the Perks marketplace based on internal and external employee engagement data points. We launched beginning of this year, and after just 6 short months, we currently support over 2,000 employees across 3 continents. We proudly serve multinational enterprise companies like Alibaba, as well as fast-growing startups like Brightsellers and Dronebase. We are beyond excited about the journey ahead. We just launched our self-serve platform, allowing a company to create a program and invite their team within minutes. We are thrilled to be partnering with Gusto, the leading HR platform for small businesses. And last but not least, we are working on a best places to work list powered by SHRM and Perks. Truly exciting times ahead. We are now raising our first institutional round of funding to fuel our growth and establish ourselves as the new leader for global people support and company culture building. If you are interested in learning more about our round or want to learn more about how to implement Perks, please contact me at the following email. Join us on our important mission to empower people to thrive everywhere. Thank you for your time.
All right, excellent presentation, Dominic. Thank you, and welcome to the stage. So let's get right to it. So the benefits market is a crowded space, as you're well aware. So can you explain to folks out there, how is it that Perks differentiate itself from all the other solutions that are out there?
Absolutely. Thank you, first and foremost, Guillermo, for having us, and we're really excited to be here. So the Perks ecosystem goes far beyond what benefits currently look like. We are a true people support and culture building platform that helps really organizations retain and attract the best talent. The way that we've done this is we've created a system that really is intelligent by nature. It really helps effectively measure and improve a culture in an organization by really understanding what are the challenges and friction points an organization and their people currently face, and how do we, and then we take our system and we intelligently apply it with the right programs to course correct any friction points or challenges that we face. Now, the way we differentiate from every other system is because we're an intelligent system. Most of the stipend and benefit systems out there are dumb systems that really allow you just to create a program and roll it out, which is usually a one-size-fits-all program. Ours is a system where we intelligently analyze the data within your organization first, and then we provide a strategy of how to implement the programs to really course correct things around talent retention and acquisition. And the way that we do this is very unique to us through our culture index and our proprietary culture tools. This is something that separates us from everything out there in the market. And then the last thing that I want to mention is we're a true global system. So we've created a global marketplace that is available in 80 plus countries that really addresses that global support need for multinational organizations, but then also provides a localized experience based on the region of each individual employee. That's something that is really for us where we believe the future is empowering people and creating a landscape to and allow each individual organization to empower their people in the best possible way.
Fantastic. So maybe since you touched on the ease of use, right? Maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about how easy it is to implement perks.
Absolutely. And we're really excited about this because we just launched our self-serve platform, which allows you as an organization to to go through a self-assessment test that we built with SHRM and allow you to define which programs you need and roll it out and invite your team all within minutes. Implementation time for our nearest competitor solutions takes 4 to 6 weeks implementation, and we've brought this down into a self-automated system where you can build your own programs based on the data points that you're inputting into the system. And so really making it frictionless and seamless for you to have that automated experience. And then we provide you with all the relevant documentation so that we can help you guide you through the platform and the system in the most effective manner possible.
Fantastic. Maybe you can walk us through an example of how you're seeing companies rolling out perks.
Yes, absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of different use cases right now from different organizations, from small organizations to large organizations. But in general, what we're seeing is the most popular programs right now that we're seeing are health and wellness programs, learning and development programs, and then remote work support or work support programs. Those are the ones that a large variety of our customers are implementing. I'll give you an example with Alibaba. They've rolled out their first program, which is a health and wellness program, but they have intentions to build a learning and development and a remote work program, as well as a culture building program. And what we're doing with them is we're supporting them in multiple different countries. So we're supporting their Americas teams in Canada, US, as well as in Brazil. And what we're seeing is how each individual employee is tailoring their experience around their specific needs in their region. So we're seeing people go for, in the health and wellness category, they're taking a massage 1 month, and then they're taking maybe a meditation the month after. And we're seeing these individual use cases based on each individual person within the company. And that's the magic of our system, really enabling people to have a unique individualized support system around their specific needs in their current state of affairs when it comes to their career, their professional growth of their career, as well as their personal lives. And that is really important to actually see this beautiful system of empowering people to thrive in their workplaces unfold.
Great. So let's go ahead and hear from one of your customers. Please help me in welcoming to the stage Darren Murph, the head of remote at GitLab. Hey, Darren, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to join us today. So maybe you can, from your experience, in guiding GitLab and other companies into this remote landscape, right? Why do you see Perks as a game changer in this segment? I think you're on mute, by the way.
Thanks for that. Thanks for having me. So I'll start with some context. So I think we have entered the empower the employee era. So I have spent over 15 years leading remote and distributed teams. But over the past 2 years in particular, I have seen a dramatic shift of institutional power. Another way of saying that is expectations have changed greatly. They will continue to change, and there's no rolling back the changes from here. There's only building the new and building the future of work, and Perks plays into this new evolution of work. There's a new generation entering the workforce, and they have new expectations. But even people who have been in the workforce for decades now have new expectations because they've been forced to work differently over the past few years, and that has shed light on some things that they might not have realized prior to the pandemic. In industries that can feasibly support it, flexibility is now table stakes, and the employee experience is paramount as they seek greater work-life harmony. The Perks ecosystem enables a highly individualized approach to more than just perks and benefits. If you read any of the articles around remote work, you'll see that connectedness and belonging and combating isolation, these are major problems that organizations are dealing with. But when you give people the ability to self-serve and administer their own benefits and perks and have a highly individualized solution, you actually build bonds of trust. They feel more connected to the organization because the organization is serving things up that cater to their specific needs. So I think that's really powerful, and I think it will continue to impact organizations as we become more distributed.
Right. And so how do you see employee empowerment and choice when it comes to their benefits and support, playing a role in the future of work?
So the past few years have made it crystal clear that each of us are individuals. Now, I know that's not news. We were individuals before and we're individuals now. But the way of work and the way we talk about work and the way that work is considered with life, it's a component of life, that has dramatically changed the expectations around that. There's now this acknowledgement that we're all in various seasons of life and in various seasons of our career, and supporting each individual in an organization can vary dramatically position by position and even day by day. Now, again, some of this was already true, but now it's been brought into the limelight and people have different expectations around that. So due to this realization, I would argue that the one-size-fits-all support model is no longer compatible with today's workforce, and it will likely lead to lower engagement as employees feel unheard and unsupported. Perks, on the other hand, is ideally positioned to allow an organization to define what support and culture programs look for them. Even within micro teams, you can get very specific and very nuanced. So when each program is tailored to individual needs, each person has more power to live their best lives and do the best work of their career and feel supported in a new way, even if they don't physically work near employees any longer.
Yep, absolutely. And by the way, that's all data that we're seeing at SHRM. By the way, make no mistake about it. So, hey, Darren, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate the insights that you brought to us today. All right, speak soon.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you
so much, Darren.
All right, Dominic. So, how can folks get in touch with Perks? Do you want to tell us a little bit about how they can get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we'll be posting in the chat a link where you can go through a self-assessment and actually go through the self-serve system and register yourself. You can also contact me at dominic@getperks.io. We'll put that in the chat as well. Happy to answer any questions that you have around how do you empower your people. We're here for you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Dom, to you and the Perks team. All right.
Thank you so much to SHRM and you.
All right. So next up, we have Sparrow.
I'm Deborah, CEO and co-founder of Sparrow, the first high-tech, high-touch, end-to-end leave management solution to help employers care for their people during major life events. Sparrow ensures compliance with federal, state, and local leave laws while delivering a stress-free experience for human resources, payroll, managers, and employees. Leave management found me when I was a PhD student at Harvard studying artificial intelligence. There was this one 6-month period where 6 of my close friends took leave from work. They took parental leaves, caregiving leaves, medical leaves. All of them struggled with the process, the paperwork, the deadlines, and the timing. Ultimately, they made mistakes that caused them to be paid improperly and need to spend a lot of extra hours with their HR teams. I started looking into how HR teams manage leave, and I found that in many ways, employee leave is even more painful for HR than it is for the employee. HR teams need to manage federal, state, and local compliance, pay adjustments, manager communication, all while balancing that with creating a great employee experience. And it's only becoming more difficult to maintain that experience and compliance. In recent years, there are constantly new federal, state, and even county regulations related to leave. Sparrow makes it easy for employers to care for their people by managing the entire employee leave process from end to end, combining service and technology. Our technology provides customized leave planning, like TurboTax for leave paperwork. We file all associated state short-term disability, paid family leave, and private insurance paperwork. We also provide compliance, tracking, and reporting customized for your team. And we manage all of the associated payroll adjustments and reconciliations, incorporating private insurance, state payments, sick payment, and more. That said, we understand that every employee leave is unique. So we provide dedicated support from our world-class team of leave experts, saving our customers' HR, payroll, and compliance teams 10 to 20 hours per leave. Today, Sparrow is nearly 100 people, serving hundreds of caring companies like Headspace, Lattice, and Figma. We've raised $20 million in funding, and we touch hundreds of thousands of lives across the United States and Canada. This means those people, those hundreds of thousands of people, can take leave knowing that it will be stress-free with the support of the Sparrow team. We are so grateful to partner with SHRMLabs to be working with people leaders across the globe. To learn how Sparrow can start saving you and your team time, please reach out to hi@trysparrow.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
All right, great presentation, Deborah, and welcome to the stage. So let's get right to it, because this is obviously one of the biggest issues that HR deals with, right? So what differentiates Sparrow from the legacy leave administrators out there?
Thank you, Guillermo. I'm excited to be here. And I would say the biggest thing that differentiates Sparrow from legacy leave administrators is leave is complicated. There are a lot of moving pieces, and I'd say Sparrow's priority from the very beginning has just been ensuring a phenomenal customer experience. Our high-tech, high-touch approach manages all of the associated federal, state, and local compliance. And we're very careful to balance that with employee experience as well. So we make sure that every step along the way, we're having the HR teams we're working with, the payroll teams, and the employees are all, truly excited about the experience that they're having, and managing to make these sort of stress moments that are usually stressful, and making sure that they are able to truly be stress-free. And I'd say it really shows. Since 2018, we have 99% customer retention, and we have an overall customer NPS score of 76, which of course is measured on a scale of a -100 to 100. Your average insurance-related product usually has an NPS score of around -11. And Costco has an NPS score of 78, meaning that Sparrow is almost as good as Costco, and everyone loves Costco.
Fantastic. So, can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of leave that Sparrow manages, and maybe you can also talk about the types of employers that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sparrow manages all types of employee leave across the United States and Canada. So this includes things like parental leave, medical leave, caregiving leave, FMLA, military leave. If you're looking for something to track 1 to 2 sick days or a couple hours of PTO, that's usually best done with your HRIS system. But for all of these more complex extended leaves where you're thinking about compliance, Sparrow is really the best product. If you're looking for that really premium solution that integrates with your HRIS system, will track and manage the leaves and the compliance, as well as saving your team time answering questions. Sparrow is sort of the best solution for that. And then as we think about like what sorts of employers work with Sparrow, I would say, well, this is absolutely a problem that every single company has. Every single company that has employees also needs to deal with how do we provide for those employees outside of work. How do we make sure that we are providing a great experience even when the unexpected happens and they need to take time off of work. We find that the teams that are usually most excited about Sparrow and quickest to want to partner with Sparrow are those who really, really care about that employee experience and that employee retention, and are a little bit more forward-thinking, thinking through how to proactively think about the employee leave experience and how to really proactively care for their employees.
Fantastic. So let's go ahead and hear directly from one of your customers. So let's bring Maurice Bell, Head of People Operations at Lattice, to the stage. Maurice, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate the time that you're taking. And so maybe you can talk a little bit about what led you to consider an outsourced solution for leave management, because it's clearly a major issue that HR has.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So our opportunity to connect with Sparrow, I would say, like, very timely. We were at a place in our organization where we had one people operations person who happened to have a background in leave management, which was huge for us. But at that same time, we were scaling. Gosh, in that year, we almost tripled our size. And so when I joined the organization, it was clear that we needed to provide some more support. We saw the leaves starting to really trickle in, particularly because we had a leave policy that where people were leave eligible literally on day one. And so clearly that was an attractive policy for great talent that needed more immediate leave support. And so that incentive, really drew in the need to have a comprehensive leave solution. And the reality of it was, we kind of got caught on our back heels when we saw the significant growth of leaves, and we had to make decisions around, hey, we're going to focus on the administration of the leaves at the cost of the experience. And I think if anyone knows anything about our organization being really people focused and people centric, it just didn't feel on brand. And so we explored partners. There were a lot of great partners out there that really had that tech-enabled solution. But what stood out for Sparrow for us was the blended approach and model between a tech solution as well as high-touch leave specialist support. And so we've been on this journey with them for almost a year now, and it's been great.
Fantastic. And maybe you can expand a little bit on how working with Sparrow has impacted Lattice's employee experience overall.
Yeah, well, it also our partnership came in a great time too, because it was, right around the end of last year where we started leaning into the remote first hybrid model of work. And that meant we were hiring really across the nation. And I think if everyone knows about leaves, like the complexity behind it, not only is there the administrative burden just for one particular state, but you got to know the nuances for each state. And we weren't resourced effectively to be able to manage that. And it was seamless working with Sparrow. They stepped right in. They had their army of leave knowledge behind the support specialists that we work with. Felt very confident. And more so too, I think understanding where we were in our journey and as a startup and building out our people team, I think Sparrow has done a really great job, not only just executing on our policy, but also being a partner and consulting us and saying, hey, you may want to revisit, this particular piece of your leave policy. Here's what we know about what other customers are doing or some of the benchmark data that we have available. Hey, here's a thing where, great in practice, but it can potentially create these unintended consequences in terms of how you administer it. You might want to adjust that. And so not only supporting us with the administration, but actually improving our leave policy and program overall through their expertise.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Maurice, for being a part of this event and for those insights that you provided to the audience. We greatly appreciate it. All right.
Awesome.
Excellent. So Deborah, how can the audience get in touch out there with you and the Sparrow team? How can they find out more?
Thank you. Great question, Guillermo. To learn more about Sparrow, you can go to our website at trysparrow.com, and we have a lot more information there. You can also sign up for a demo there, but probably one of the easiest ways would be reaching out to us, just hi@trysparrow.com, and letting us know that you found us through the SHRM event. We're always excited to speak with more SHRM members, and we'd love to get to know each of you better.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for being here, Deborah. All right, up next, folks, we have Mainstay.
Hi, I'm Andrew Magliazzi, CEO and co-founder of Mainstay, an employee engagement platform powered by behavioral intelligence. Remote and hybrid work are on the rise. Labor conditions have made deskless and frontline workers harder to hire and even more difficult to retain. Meanwhile, the demands on HR professionals to build company culture have never been more daunting. Employee mental health is becoming a crisis, and DEI-J initiatives are an imperative. Finally, Generation Z is entering the labor market with bold demands for respect, recognition, and investment in their development. Enter Mainstay's behavioral intelligence platform, which empowers HR leaders to attract, retain, and develop their workforce. Rather than robotic automation, we've built an Iron Man suit to help you listen and respond at scale. You are the hero, and Mainstay gives you superpowers to reduce your administrative burden so you can focus your time and energy on meaningful, high-leverage, face-to-face work. Together with our partners, we reduce no-show rates, improve onboarding and retention, and build company culture through trusted conversation. In the last 6 years, we've engaged more than 6 million people in a continuous text-based conversation powered by behavioral intelligence to help them stay the course on their career and learning goals. We meet them where they are in the messaging apps they use every single day to get them where they're going. And we've proven our impact at scale every step of the way with rigorous research, deep technical integrations, and a platform able to empower an HR team of one or scale to meet the demands of a large enterprise. Authentic employee engagement requires more than one-way email blasts or an annual survey. With frequent, personalized engagement, Mainstay helps you build deep connection by inviting each individual into a conversation from day one. From that daily conversation, you'll understand employee sentiment in real time, reinforce your company culture, build trust with empathy and equity, and inspire the values and behaviors that matter most for your business. Culture begins in conversation. For example, one of our partners listened to candidates to better understand what was causing their onboarding issues in order to remove blockers and encourage the behaviors that drive new hire momentum. Ultimately, they dropped their ghosting rate by more than 40% so their warehouses could operate at full capacity to achieve their business goals. Another global e-commerce company answers thousands of employee questions automatically each month, freeing HR staff from more important deep work. Finally, another partner surfaces constant insight into frontline working conditions with trusted communication in each employee's native language, using our machine translation feature so that they can constantly improve plant safety and compliance. We're seeking innovative HR leaders who want a technology partner to help elevate the employee engagement, build culture, and grow your teams. If you're interested, please text me. We're also offering fully free custom implementation for the first 10 partners who sign up. That's a $5,000 value for each of you. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Very great presentation, and welcome to the stage. As with everybody else, let's get right to it. So tell us about the Mainstay mission, and also what drove you to expand from education into the workforce market, because to me it makes sense, right? Because it's the two are connected. But let's hear directly from you.
Oh, thanks so much, Guillermo. Absolutely. So as you said, our roots are in education, and we've helped millions of students make meaningful progress in the journey through college to a more fulfilling career. Um, from our vantage point, learning and development are essential for economic mobility, and our passion is to deliver positive outcomes along the journey through college and career at unprecedented scale. Like you said, the connection is more and more apparent every day between work and learning. We also felt that the employee engagement solutions on the market today were largely lacking. Based on our ability to engage deeply, surface insights, and drive outcomes at scale, we were pretty darn confident we could deliver the goods for employers and workers alike. And for us at Mainstay, engagement is really that authentic dialogue, and we make it possible to do that meaningfully with every single employee almost every single day. Our approach is mostly effective also with historically resilient populations, and we're excited to bring that level of change and transformation to the workplace for more folks.
Fantastic. Maybe you can tell us a little bit, and go into some of the details of what makes the Mainstay product special.
Yeah, hopefully our customer will reinforce this and share her vantage point as well. But for us, the real difference is smoothing out all the little bumps in the employee experience and build trust while eliminating the barriers along the way. So I think this is most clear in a specific example. So one of our early workforce partners was really struggling to advance frontline workers through the hiring process, doing all the little things like submitting I-9s, background checks, drug tests, and much, much more. And so when it came to onboarding, we would start the conversation with each employee first by celebrating and congratulating them the moment they're hired. And after that celebration, we would start by asking them questions like, hey, did you get the link to the background check? And when exactly do you plan to complete it? And celebrating a success and asking someone to make a plan might seem trivial, but the data is profoundly clear that people are way more likely to follow through when they share their plans ahead of time and they feel a bit of connection, that sort of spark. And we also know that how you say it and when you say it matters a lot. People have the expectation of immediacy and want to be reached out to. And so, like the night before their first day, we might also say, hey, we're excited to see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Here's the address. Are you coming? People will often say, yes, I'll be there. And then the morning of the first day, we check in again and say, hey, we're excited to see you in a couple of hours. Are you ready to arrive on time? And this is when we found a lot of surprises. It was not uncommon for someone to admit, like, no, I lost my childcare today. I'm going to be late, or I can't make it. And this is an opportunity when we've been able to recapture people, reschedule, and not lose folks from the funnel. And we hear all the time that these people are actually willing to admit this sort of thing to a chatbot or a platform like ours that they might not be willing to say to a person out of fear of being judged. And so it's with these simple, proactive conversations that we're able to support folks who might otherwise get lost or feel too shy to ask for help. And best of all, the conversation doesn't really ever have to end. There are dozens of ways to keep people engaging, listening, and responding through the employee life cycle. And now, even when a person does decide to leave or drop out of the hiring process, they're willing to tell us exactly why, because we've built trust through that conversation from day one. And those are the types of insights that help our partners continue to adapt and improve and meet the constantly changing needs of their workforce. So it's all the little things, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, thank you for those insights, but let's hear directly from one of your customers. So please help me in welcoming to the stage, Kristen Anzaldo Boehm, Senior Recruiting Manager at Wayfair. Kristen, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you and your team were facing a year ago before you partnered with Mainstay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me. I think, like so many other companies in our frontline warehouse roles, we were really experiencing increased challenges with retaining talent, did not really have an easy or an efficient way, quite honestly, to capture data on the root cause for the fallout throughout the process and throughout the first week of employment. This was really impacting our ability to make improvements in the process to really help increase retention as well as recruiter efficiency and share the Wayfair story. So it's been a great advantage to be able to partner with them.
Fantastic. And maybe you can talk a little bit about some of the challenges that Mainstay help you address.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mainstay was really able to, I would say, from the beginning, partner with us to work with our tech stack, to really incorporate the chatbot through automation, really helping to streamline the process. And I think from a recruiter's vantage point, there's always a scare of like, is this going to be more work for me, or how's this going to impact the process flow for both me and my candidate? And we didn't see that at all. It really helped to provide a lift to both the recruiters as well as to the candidates, really helping to improve retention rates quarter over quarter since we've launched the product. And really, I think the other thing that's been really awesome is it's given us insight into how to continue to improve the candidate as well as the employee experience. We've been able to share our company culture and vision through automation and really create a more scalable, personalized process that we've iterated on multiple times through the partnership with Mainstay.
Fantastic. And last question for you: how would you say your partnership with Mainstay has evolved over the past year?
It's been phenomenal. They've invested a significant amount of time in really helping to understand the pain points, not only with the vertical of the business that I support, but the other TA teams that support other parts of the business at Wayfair, and really meeting with us to understand how that process is different and how those candidates actually might engage and react to the bot in a different way. We've been able to expand the usage of the bot to support my peers in the sales and service talent acquisition part of the team, now exploring EU, as well as further expansion into our home delivery network. We've also recently started leveraging the tool for candidate outreach and targeted candidate engagement campaigns. This has really helped to improve not only the candidate experience, but recruiter efficiency, as well as helping to tell our story through automation. This has all been through the partnership and through the conversations and through the really brainstorming sessions with our partnership with our Mainstay team.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much, Kristen, for being here and for sharing your story with us. And you certainly had some great insights.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Hey, Drew. Obviously, last question to you. How can viewers get in touch with you and the Mainstay team to learn more about Mainstay?
We are available in all the ways, Guillermo. So feel free to text the number I had before. We can put it in the chat or shoot me an email. But also, obviously, if you click this poll, we're eager to get in touch with you and have a deep discussion about how we might begin to reimagine your process of employee engagement. And frankly, if you consider yourself innovative or know folks who want to push the envelope on what might be possible with technology, we would love to work with you. We're always looking to dream big and think differently. So thank you. True partners are what we're on the hunt for.
Cool. Thank you very much, Drew. All right, folks, up next, we have Humaxa.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Peer. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Humaxa. We have developed Max, the AI assistant that helps HR scale. Max and the Humaxa platform allows HR to scale by providing a safe space for employees to chat anonymously, receive immediate help, while providing real-time insights. Max integrates directly with Microsoft Teams, with Slack, is customizable, and takes only a few minutes to install. At work, some things are hard to talk about. I'm stressed and I can't focus. I have a dumb question that I don't want to ask. I feel overlooked by my manager. These feelings can cause big problems down the road, but there are ways to prevent them from happening in the first place. Let me share a couple of examples. These are real examples from our clients. Client story number 1. The employee says, being able to work from home has been very helpful during these scary times. I know that when things get to be too much, I can take a breather and clear my head. Max responds with, oh, I understand how you feel. How about trying a mindfulness exercise? Would you like to try one now? Then Max can take them through the exercise. For story number 2, much more serious, the employee says, I hope someone is listening to me. I have been stuck at home due to health issues. I have no one to talk to. I haven't made a single friend in 5 years. It's affecting my work and my productivity. Max responds with, oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. What if you joined a group chat to connect with some others at work? Would that help? But because this sentiment is so strong and so negative, it sends an alert to the system admin who goes in, takes a look at the recent feedback and sees this anonymous feedback about work friendships, starts reading, I hope someone's listening to me. I've been stuck at home due to health issues. I have no one to talk to. I haven't made a new friend. They see this, are very concerned, and decide to send the employee a message through Max. Max says this user has chosen to remain anonymous, but don't worry, with me as your courier, you can send them a message. They may message you back, all without compromising their anonymity. So the system admin says, hey, I'm really sorry to hear that you're suffering. There's definitely someone listening. You know, we have a lot of resources that can help, including anonymous counseling. Would you be willing to talk face-to-face? Just an example. While all these anonymous conversations are going on, Max is delivering predictive insights about the workforce to stay ahead of the problems. Remote and hybrid work has accelerated our growth. And our client feedback tells the whole story. They're much more likely to want to talk to Max than fill out any type of survey. They see about $48,000 a year cost savings per 100 employees, and we have 100% 5-star reviews on both G2 and Capterra. Please join us. My contact information is here. Mention SHRMLabs. You'll receive 3 months for free, and for the first 10 people that sign up, we'll give you a $250 gift card just for trying us out. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Caroline, thank you very much for being here and great presentation. And one key question that I'm sure HR folks out there probably have is how is it that Humaxa helps HR organizations scale?
Sure. If you're a growing company or trying to do more with less, sometimes it's nice to automate away some of the routine, can I get this? Can I get information about this? And have automated checkups that you don't have to do manually. I know when I was an employee, I was lucky to get on my manager's calendar maybe once a week for a one-on-one, which is great. But sometimes things come up, at all hours of the day and the night, especially when people are working in different time zones, they're working remotely. So Max, in this case, can act as a front end kind of tier 1 help about what's really going on in the workplace in order to help and prevent problems.
And would you say that employees trust the anonymity that Max can bring to the table? So, like, for example, maybe you can talk about whether employees can report on workplace harassment or other type of misconduct.
Sure. It's a really important question because trust is everything. And what we see in the data is that when Max is first introduced, the types of topics that people talk about are very benign, very innocuous. Hey, Max, I'd really like to get better at data science. Can you go find me a mentor? Oh, yes, of course, Carolyn, I can go do that. Or, hey, I'd like to practice my public speaking skills. Oh, did you know that there's a group that practices every Friday? Would you like me to introduce you? These, very, very benign topics. But over time, you start to really see things like some of the examples that we gave. I'm struggling on the job. I don't want to tell my manager. I really need some help. Max can go find help while you remain completely anonymous. So these kind of more topics that require trust take a little while, just like with a person. You don't trust, you want to trust, but it takes time to really build that trust over time, and then it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, yeah, and that certainly makes sense, like you were saying. But let's go ahead and hear directly from one of your customers. So let's bring up Lisa Warner, HR business partner at AMP Creative. Lisa, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you taking the time. And so maybe you can tell us a little bit about what it's been like working with Humaxa, and because this is such a new concept, right? To have an HR chatbot out there that not only helps HR, but also helps your staff and employees.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, and Carolyn for reaching out to me. I feel like our company, AMP Creative, met Humaxa at the perfect time, because we were transitioning to a fully distributed workforce. That was a big transition for us. We're in the learning and digital content communication creation space. So think about everything from e-learns to virtual reality, to helping companies really curate, their message and put it out to the public. We worked in these small, very close, creative sort of pods when we were all located together. And then the pandemic happened and we were spread out and we started to grow very quickly. So our team size doubled in a year. And that's at the exact same time that I found Humaxa and MaxBot. And I really feel like the platform helped us get through that transitional time and hold our team together. It was, just a time in which we were scrambling to figure out how to stay engaged with our people. We had had so much close contact. To give you an idea of the kind of contact and culture we had, I'm not only the HR business partner, but also a mindfulness meditation teacher. So I held meditation sessions every day for our team. We would gather together. We had cushions, we had a meditation room, and suddenly that was gone. And while I was able to lead meditation through Teams and, even on like Facebook Live and Instagram, there was still something missing. And we worked with Carolyn to really help MaxBot not just become MaxBot with sort of the already built-in interactions that Carolyn had very thoughtfully created, but also to create our own voice with the bot. I had an employee tell me the other day, well, whenever I get a message from MaxBot, I think it's really you, Lisa, because we've been able to customize things, and that's helped build trust. And so what we found is exactly what Carolyn said in terms of people interacting with the bot more and more over time. As an HR person, it was really fast in terms of the integration. They made it very easy. I connected with our IT specialist and quickly got approval. So that part was easy. And if you've, ever worked in HR tech and had to set up an HRIS or anything like that, it's often not easy. So I really appreciated the ease of it. At first, we just used sort of the off-the-shelf offerings, but then we went into customization, and that's what I love most about Humaxa.
Actually, that was the next question that I had for you. Maybe you can talk, or maybe you answered it already. But what would you say was has been your favorite part of the Humaxa platform or Max in general?
Sure. I would say definitely my ability to build custom content around wellness and mental health. So we have built out several mindfulness meditation exercises, as well as just reminders for employees to stand up, to stretch, to get hydrated. What we found once we moved our team, to a distributed team, is that people who already loved deep work kind of went even further into deep work and were often ignoring their own needs, to get up to stretch. People talk about the pounds that were put on during the pandemic. Well, some of that was the refrigerator, but some of that was also really just staying glued to your screen. And we have been incredibly productive as a workforce during that time, but not necessarily healthy. So I really worried about that. Mental health and wellness is my passion. And so being able to build out these little interactions with our team in which we were literally just reminding them sometimes to just stand up and to go to the window, to look outside, focus on a leaf, take a deep breath, and then go back to your desk. And to be able to send those out several times a day and have employees be able to choose what level of engagement they wanted. If they didn't want to hear, a bunch of mindfulness stuff or, FAQs or something like that, they could sort of like turn down the volume. And then maybe they needed them a little bit more, the next week, and they could turn up the volume. So I really love, I can customize on my end, but the employee can also customize. They can decide how much they want to interact with Max so that it's not disrupting their day if it's something that they don't want to do. And then, of course, I love the analytics. As an HR professional, I loved, popping open that dashboard and being able to say that AMP Created was, for example, doing great during the pandemic. That, we communicated clearly to our employees and they understood what was going on. So that helped me sleep better at night.
Great. Well, thank you so much for those insights and for being here. We greatly appreciate you taking the time. All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. So Caroline, how can the audience find out more about Humaxa and get in touch with you and your team?
Absolutely. Obviously, you can fill out the poll. Our website, you can schedule a meeting. It's www.humaxa.com. Really easy, Humaxa. Or you can reach me personally. I'm carolyn.peer@humaxa.com.
All right. Thank you very much, Caroline. We'll see you soon. All right, folks, believe it or not, we actually have our last presentation of the day. And last but not least, we have Unboxed.
Hi, my name is Kendra Ward, and I am a co-founder of Unboxed. Unboxed is a software that takes employee feedback and turns that into actionable recommendations for direct managers. Some of our customers are YWCA, Comcast, Amazon, and UPS, to name a few. People and operation leaders today are facing the same challenge, engaging and retaining staff. But we all know people leave people. So this would imply that the employee experience and retention efforts are won or lost at the team level. Unboxed works in 3 steps. First, everyone on the team creates a profile, which takes 4 minutes. Through profile creation, the system is able to understand the individual's motivation, the factors that can affect an individual's morale, and uncovers team values. Next, each direct manager sets a digital check-in cadence of daily, weekly, or monthly. Each digital check-in is personalized to the individual. This enables us to capture the level of satisfaction of each team member's holistic employee experience. The digital check-in takes on average 30 seconds to 2 minutes to complete. Finally, we take that data and we convert it into actionable insights and recommendations for the direct team leader to act on. We see a 93% adoption rate for Unboxed. Leaders are 12% more effective, and effectiveness is a measure of team motivation, morale, and trust. And organizations see a 10 to 20% decrease in voluntary employee turnover. Thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Hakeem, or feel free to go visit our website, getunboxed.com, and fill out a contact us form. Thank you so much.
Hey Hakeem, welcome to the stage. Great presentation from Kendra, your co-founder, and so let's get right to it. So,
Yes.
most C-suite leaders rank talent development and retention as a top focus point, and I can tell you that is a key issue that SHRM members are dealing with. So, what makes Unboxed different from all the other surveying, employee voice, or engagement tools that are out there? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, Guillermo, I want to say thank you to you and the entire SHRMLabs team. You guys have put on a fantastic accelerator for us and other 6 founders or 5 founders. And so I want to say first, thank you for you all and everyone who's joined and stuck around this far. But going into your question of what makes Unboxed different, ultimately it's around how we go about collecting the experience of your employees and then converting that into real-time feedback and recommendations for your frontline managers. Look, guys, engagement is the thing of the past. First, you have to capture the experience of your team members, and that can mean very different person to person. So for us, it's about understanding what someone wants out of an experience, being able to personalize their digital check-ins that takes on average 30 seconds to complete, and then providing their direct managers. Where you talk about engagement, where you talk about retention efforts, that's won or lost at the team level. And so that real-time feedback of telling a manager, instead of saying, hey, your team's demotivated, disengaged, telling them why and providing them with an actionable tip in a moment to be able to keep that person engaged and making sure that they're having a great experience. And I think that's what makes Unboxed different than anything other tools out there.
Great. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the organizations that you work with, and ideally who's your target, or who's a good company for Unboxed.
Awesome. Well, you're going to hear from one of those rock star companies in a moment. So maybe they can talk a little bit about their experience. But the first thing I'll say is that we built Unboxed for teams, right? For us is that we want to focus on the team dynamic. When you talk about trust, communication, everyone touts an open door policy, but what good is an open door if the person doesn't feel comfortable walking through that door and having a conversation? So for us, we work with very large organizations, and we focus on hourly workers, because for us, we also built Unboxed for impact. And so when you talk about a lot of these large multinational organizations and the business impact that they're hoping to see, it's really at that hourly level. That's where they're seeing turnover. We heard Wayfair talk earlier today where she talked about some of her early employees, frontline managers, that they were losing them in their facilities. Those are the hourly workers. And so if you could think back to when you first were a manager, right? You were a great producer, and then now you're in a position where you're managing people, and now you're a leader. That's a challenge. And so at Unboxed, that's who we're hoping to support as we continue to scale. So we're focused on large organizations, but ones with a high density of hourly workers.
Would you say that it's fair to label Unboxed as a leadership development tool or solution that helps companies develop their next crop of leaders?
Absolutely. When you think about leadership development, traditionally sits over here. It's typically for high potential or employees. Then you have engagement and the employee experience that sits over here. Unboxed is that bridge, right? So because your leaders within your organization, that's really what's going to drive the engagement and the ultimate experience and retention efforts that you have within your organization. So Unboxed is the bridge between the two ecosystems.
Okay, fantastic. Well, let's hear directly from one of your customers. So please help me in welcoming to the stage Rhonda Whitted, Human Resources Director at UPS. Rhonda, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you taking the time to be here. And so maybe you can tell us a little bit about your initial impressions with Unboxed, and did you believe it would work?
So I always smile because Hakeem still laughs at me about this. We're a very fast-paced company. Our frontline supervisors have a ton of daily tasks to do, let alone have time for surveys and employee experience and all that kind of stuff. But when they came in, they did a very, very good presentation, very exciting presentation, but I honestly did not feel it would work. I just didn't feel like people would take the time to do a check-in monthly, let alone weekly or daily. But they did. They came in, they became quickly a part of the team. And so it was very easy. The check-in process was very quick. It's 30 seconds, on average. And I found that they got a huge adoption rate. So over 90% of the folks in the facility voluntarily signed up, and it helped them increase their communication because they were checking in daily.
Fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about what you were hoping to accomplish with Unboxed? Once you made that decision to, we're going to bring Unboxed in, what was it that you were hoping to accomplish, and what do you think the impact has been for UPS?
So our main goal was to improve our turnover numbers. We had done a lot of research in the area. We knew we had the right wage rate, but we were still losing folks. And it's the old adage: people leave a company for the person that they necessarily work for. So we've got a very young workforce of frontline supervisors that communicate via text or very, very limited verbal interaction. So we were trying to help in building the relationship part of it. And that's what Unboxed was able to come in and help us do. With these quick check-ins, people could talk about their morale or how they were feeling for the day. And even they helped us resolve a lot of issues that we may not have otherwise found out of because our folks weren't having those conversations.
Fantastic. It's so interesting that you just brought up, the reason why people are leaving, because 3-4 years ago, we actually came out with research that shows that 58% of people leave their employer because of a bad manager. So it's clearly having manager or better managers out there is definitely going to help out on the retention side of things. Excellent. Any last words that you can think of, in regards to Unboxed and some of the changes that you've seen, or and any other insights that you can think of to provide our audience?
Yeah, very, very excited about the changes. They come in and it made it seem like a team environment, which is what we were striving for. And they just made it fun. So we strive to make this a better place to work. And that's what they came in and helped us do.
Okay, fantastic. Excellent. Thank you, Rhonda, for being here. We greatly appreciate you taking the time. All right.
Thank you very much for the invite.
So, Hakeem, for the audience that's out there, how is it that they can get connected with Unboxed and with you and the team and find out more about Unboxed?
Yeah, so the first way I'll say is that there's a form on our website, but you can go to getunboxed.com. I just dropped it in the chat. So if you click on that link, you could go in, you can fill out a small report to just say what you're looking to achieve. One of our representatives will reach out to you, or you can reach out to myself personally at Hakeem, HAKEEM.Isaac, ISAAC at getunboxed.com.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, Hakeem. We greatly appreciate you and all the other founders that have joined us today for an inaugural demo day here at SHRM and SHRMLabs. So, all right, we'll be talking with you soon. Excellent, folks. Well, believe it or not, that actually brings us to the end of our first demo day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to our founders and their teams. It's been a pleasure working with all of them. One of the things that I think we mentioned in the registration is that, as part of this presentation, or for you being here, this actually qualifies for recertification credits towards your SHRM CP or SCP certification. And we're going to be putting the code up there in a second. It's actually 22-7M9MQ. And like I said, we're going to be posting a slide with the code up there. Just a couple of announcements here. If you're a founder that's interested in participating in next year's cohort, please visit SHRMLabs.com and join the wait list. The application is going to be opening up sometime in the fall. If you're an HR leader or an HR tech investor, we're doing great things with SHRMLabs, doing research, hosting panels and roundtables. If you're interested in participating in any of that, also please visit SHRMLabs.com to get involved with that. And the last announcement that I have for you is that we're going to be launching very soon our WorkplaceTech community. The way that I describe this to people is that it's going to be the online playground where the people that know the workplace the best, HR, are going to be able to collaborate with the innovators out there and explore a lot of the disruptive technologies that are out there, such as voice, AI, the HR blockchain, virtual reality, and how those technologies can be used to solve a lot of critical workplace challenges. Thank you very much for being here today. We greatly appreciate your support, and stay tuned for some more events and communications from SHRMLabs. Okay, thank you. See you soon.